Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Look Forward. I'm your host Jay. I'm here with my co-host Brad.
It's debate night.
All right.
I'm clenching already.
Ugh, gross.
That's how excited I am.
Look, I got to tell you, this is. I've been looking forward to this. I want to see what happens when a unstoppable force meets a old mush brain object. So I'm looking forward to that. Look, let's quickly talk about the news. By the way, this is a live broadcast for our members. If you are a member or a member of our Discord is what I should say. If you go to lookforwardshow.com/fans, you can sign up and join our Discord. So we do all of these debates and everything there. And it's fun because you can, be in the chat with everybody as well. So all that being said, let's touch on some of the news of the week before we start talking about like our thoughts on the upcoming debate. People are eating cats and dogs, Brad. It's happening.
People are eating cats. I have this specially for the show. Me and Jay and Andy were talking about this in our private chat about the Haitians eating animal story. And I made I made Jay so angry because I typed out a very lengthy, I really hope this comes up in the debate tonight response from Donald Trump. And I like it so much that I want to read it verbatim. So if you'll indulge me.
Yes, please.
The Haitians, have you heard about this? The Haitians, they're just coming over the border and they go to these areas, these rural areas, and they see the cats and the dogs. And they're a delicacy, I think, in their country. So they kidnap the pets, and they cook the pets, and they eat them. And the Democrats, I think they like to eat the pets, too. So they have no problem with it. And Kamala, the border czar, she's just letting them in to steal your pets and eat them like a hot dog. Except a real hot dog isn't made of dog. But people are calling them hot dogs now because the people, they cook the dog, and they eat it.
Look, into that, I would say that Mitt Romney would immediately say, hot dog meat is my favorite meat. Insane. Look, the story, the Haitian story. What is this? Springfield, Ohio, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There's the hilarity of this, right? Which is this is dumb and nobody sane actually believes this. But there's also a sort of a twisted aspect to this, right? Which is they are like JD Vance tweeted this out initially, right? He got the fucking ball rolling initially on this, and my biggest problem with that is like, you're supposed to be better than that, but it turns out like you're definitely not better than that, which is fucking hilarious to me. But
Sherry in the chat says it's a dog whistle, to which I say, quite literally.
Yes, quite literally. A cat whistle too. But so the really super fucked up part is, I don't know if people know this, the local basically Nazis have been going to the the city council and being like, oh, these Haitians are eating pets and all this other stuff based on this bullshit rumor, right? Like, not just based on what JD Vance said, but because JD Vance pulled this from this bullshit right-wing rumor. And so, like, you're going to get someone killed doing this, right? Like, this idea of like, oh, it's this funny thing. Yeah, it would be funny if people didn't take it seriously and think that Haitian refugees, because that's what they are doing these things, right? Like if it was just like, oh, this is a stupid thing, and we're like, if it was like the JD Vance couch thing, like people don't actually believe that JD Vance fucked the couch. I mean, I do, but normal people don't believe that, right? But that's not going to get someone killed by telling people that these people are there to harm you, right? Because I saw quite literally people online, conservatives, like, no, this is really happening. Like, no, it really isn't happening. This is insane, right? So what I'm afraid is that some Haitian refugees are going to get hurt over this. And you got Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ted Cruz and JD Vance tweeting this shit out. But when something really happens, they're going to be like, oh, thoughts and prayers. There's no time to really talk about this. And, and then they'll try to move on. But you're literally doing something. You're pushing a rumor. This is like as old as blood libel against Jews, right? Like there's, old newspaper articles about Chinese immigrants eating rats, right? Like it's just not true. They just made it up, right? Just to other them. So this is just the modern version of that. So To that, I'll pass it back to you and just say Ted Cruz and JD Vance probably need to get blasted in the face one good time especially over shit like this. And Marjorie Taylor Greene can get pushed down a flight of stairs because equal opportunity.
I mean that's an everyday wish.
It's fine
for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Other great news is that Republicans seem dead set on running headlong into a government shutdown a month before the election. To which I say, good luck with all that, guys.
Do you think that this is going to help you, or this is going to? Yeah,
I think
so. They're trying to make voting.
Like that they think. Harder, right? Well, I feel like that they think somehow that if it happens, it's going to get hung around the neck of Joe Biden and therefore be hung around the neck of Kamala Harris. Which, of course, like we have eyes and people report stuff. Like if the White House comes to a continuing resolution with the Senate, and the House is the one that's like, no. Like, then, yeah, like, unfortunately, the media is going to blame you correctly. Apparently, they want to, I don't know what they want to pass, but they want to pass something to make it harder to vote or something like that.
Yeah, I saw
it as like a concession.
Yeah, I saw a brief headline about that. I mean, here's the thing, Republicans. The last time you shut down the government, the media did in fact blame you. Like they got it right. I wouldn't recommend this. But then again, you know what? Who am I to say? Please proceed. Please do it, dude. You dumb idiots. Like you're going to go on TV and say, we're shutting the government down because of X. And then people are just going to run that video of you saying that as the government shuts down. I like, yeah. Dude, this is not some secret like back end dealing. They literally going to have you in HD saying this shit. Like it's not even hard to. It's not.
Well, and even better than that, like then Kamala Harris can go out onto the campaign trail and be like, "Hey, like, do you guys want 4 more years of this? Like, this is a sneak preview. Like, right. Go ahead and elect Donald Trump and see what happens."
You dumb idiots. Yeah, I really don't understand the logic here. It's very well. There is no logic.
Well, it's because there isn't any.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting. Some other news. This is kind of a new one. Project 2025 leader confesses deep Trump ties in damning interview. Best of luck. Like she's gonna throw.
That's an old story. That came out a couple weeks ago. What else we got here? Apparently, Mark Robinson used to order get a whole pizza to himself and then go wank it in a porn store on the regular, like every week.
Yeah, he would go into the porn shop with the pizza to the viewing rooms, where you watch a live sex show. Ugh. You watch 2 crackheads have sex. Okay, buddy, like that's gross. I mean, look, I support your freedom for being that kind of a weirdo. I'm okay to say that, but it's hard for me to let it slide considering how judgy you are on everyone else's behaviors that are way less weird than that. So that guy looks like he's going to end up delivering North Carolina to Democrats, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah. What else we got here? A moment in time that I wish that I could get into a time machine right now and go back 16 years to meet 16-year younger Jay and say, hey, you don't know me yet. I'm going to become like one of your favorite people in just a couple of years in the whole wide world. But I've come back in time just to let you know that in less than 20 years, not one, but 2 Cheneys will be voting for the Democratic presidential nominee.
Dude, that's insane. That's insane. No, there's no way. I wouldn't have believed it. I'd be like, 1, get out of here. 2, I simply do not believe it. Look, somebody had the great idea of having Dick Cheney and Bernie Sanders do an Apple versus PC ad together. Like, we disagree on a lot, but I don't know. We still believe in democracy, for God's sake. Yeah, Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney coming out and supporting Kamala Harris. I mean, Liz Cheney coming out and supporting Kamala Harris is the most obvious thing in the world. Dick Cheney, not just supporting, but verified to be voting for Kamala Harris, says another thing. And Liz Cheney, by the way, also came out and said she's supporting Colin Allred in Texas. Mm-hmm. So she's like, yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Also, specifically, fuck Ted Cruz, by the way. I don't like that guy, which that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, No.
And here's something shocking. Dick Cheney, for possibly the first time in the history of man, to the left of George W. Bush on an issue, because Bush just came out and said he's not endorsing at all. Like, he's just not going to endorse. Period.
I would love if he did. I would love it if he came out and was like, "Hey, remember me? I'm a piece of shit." But even I believe in democracy, guys.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean, but still, it's pretty telling that there is literally zero currently living presidents or vice presidents that are endorsing the Republican nominee to be president this time.
It's even more embarrassing that the guy running's former vice president,
Yes.
isn't even. He's like, nah, fuck that guy. Like, I work directly next to him. What are you, crazy? Of course I wouldn't support him. So,
and apparently, again, polling, my general polling disclaimer aside, apparently Texas and Florida are toss-ups now.
Yes,
according to 270 to win.
Yeah, 270 to win puts them both at toss-ups. How about this? New polling out today. Trump is only ahead of Harris by 2 points in Florida. Harris is above him by 3 points in North Carolina. We got ourselves a fucking race, man. We really do. Again, I don't want that guy to lose. I want him to get fucking embarrassed. Like, I do.
That would be.
I want him
to be
ideal. Embarrassed. Absolutely. I want him to be so embarrassed that the idea of him going, "This is all rigged," and everyone else is like, "Bro, everywhere."
Yeah, we're moving on.
We're moving on.
We're not even entertaining this. Go away.
Because at a certain point, and this is why a blowout really matters. And then we got 10 minutes, so we're gonna jump into debate talk. Why the blowout really truly matters is because at a certain point, he's not going to be able to foment enough cases in the states. If you can get enough, like, fine, dude, you want to do one in Georgia? You want to do a lawsuit in Georgia? Do one in Florida and do it but then you just have too many avenues that it doesn't matter if you win there. You've already lost in these other places. That's why a blowout is important, because he's simply, I mean, look, not to get too far into it, they are hemorrhaging money right now, right? Having the Republican Party defending Florida and Texas and North Carolina does serious damage to his ability to try to win Pennsylvania or these other states. If you got to still defend shit at the red wall, you're fucked. You are properly fucked, which I love. Yes, and Georgia, which I think has already been. There's a significant amount of damage that has been done by Democrats to the Republicans' sort of stranglehold on Georgia. But yeah, the fact that they're defending in North Carolina and going to have to defend in Florida, I mean, for Kamala Harris to win Trump's home state would be embarrassing.
I mean, she's already gonna win his actual home state,
right?
Like,
but
I know
where he's hiding out. Where he's hiding out. So, but look, I don't know if you saw this, and this is gonna be sort of the end for what I have to say. Ron DeSantis is trying to pull the abortion question off the ballot. Yeah. They're working to do it because they're so terrified that the turnout's going to be.
I personally believe that they should have to carry that ballot measure to term. That's just my
100%, 100%
on that situation.
Yeah,
so
love it. All right, let's switch gears and talk about debate. What do you think Kamala Harris has to do to win this thing?
She can't get baited by him. Every area of debate that we've seen him in where he I don't want to say wins the debate, but like where he comes out looking better than he otherwise would have is when he's been able to drag people down into the mud with him. As the old adage goes, don't fucking wrestle with the pig in the mud because you just get dirty and the pig likes it. Don't fucking stoop down to his level. There's actually a clip that resurfaced that I had completely forgotten about. And then as soon as I saw it, the memories came flooding back. It was like, I can't believe that we forgot that Kamala Harris was in this situation. And for those that don't recall, there's a bit of a viral moment 8 years ago in her California Senate debate against the Republican nominee whose name I don't remember. But that Republican nominee, if you recall, dabbed during the debate, and it was like a really awkward weird moment. And her reaction to it was basically to just like not really react at all, just kind of like, yeah, like the expression Jay's giving right now, just kind of like the okay, and then like basically kind of just pivot off of it to, you know, to say something else. And that's what you have to do. Like if Trump comes at her and says something blatantly untrue, like you just have to acknowledge very quickly that he said something that was bullshit, and then pivot to what you're going to do that is different than what he's done or what he's promising that he's going to do.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I think she's going in into what I would argue is very familiar territory, which is she is going to have to do twice as much or be twice as good to be acknowledged as doing quite well in this, right? Trump just has to not shit his pants and throw up and fall down in order to be like, oh, it was pretty good debate by Trump, right? Because the bar is set low.
What are we going to see from him? We're going to see the same shit we see from him all the time, where he's going to come out as like relatively normal for the first 15 to 20 minutes, and then he's going to get bored, and then either the moderator is going to ask him a question, or she's going to say something that like sets him off, and then it's the downward spiral for the rest of the debate, where he just starts circling the drain. And
that's what I want. Look, her campaign has been perfect in what people are referring to, and I think is probably a correct turn of phrase, making him small, right? This idea of this guy is, because he's a larger than life personality. That's how he won, right? It's like, it's Trump, you know, the catchphrase is the TV show, blah, 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 all this bluster. But what they have been able to do is like, look at this pathetic loser. Look at this guy. This guy is, they put out an ad today where it's like the Obama speech from the DNC where he's like, oh, he's obsessed with like crowd sizes, right? Like the basically the dick joke. It's to make him feel small. It's to make him feel weak. And it's like, you aren't on this, you aren't on my level. You're just a small man. You got a lot of bluster, but you're a fucking small man. She only needs to hit him like once or twice and then just be above it all, right? You give your presidential shit and you give your policies and everything else. And that's where you stay 99% of the time. But that 1% of the time, you come down and you smack him across his fucking face and be like, shut up, little man, and then go back to where you were before. That is enough to throw him off his kilter. Because like the second he's like, oh shit, like I gotta fight back, he can't help himself. He's gonna say some wild shit. Like he can't be like, well, I don't think that's true. Like he's not a reasonable person. He's gonna say something crazy. And once he starts, his brain will just keep going and keep going. And that's all you gotta do. Let him, since the mics are gonna be off between or muted between their talks, needle him, make him go, like make him not answer his next question and jump all into personal attacks. Look, MAGA will love it, but everybody else is going to be like, oh, that's that asshole we know. And that's what you want. You want to knock him off his platform, but make him feel small. And they've been really good at that. So I'm sure she's got one or two fucking zingers that she's got waiting. Apparently he's done no debate prep. Always a good sign. Always
he's had policy time with his advisors, whatever the fuck that's supposed
whatever,
to be.
Dude. What policy?
Well, and Autumn Toyman in the chat brings up a good point. He does not respect her because she is a woman, so he's going to say some wild shit at some point during this debate tonight. 100%.
Yeah, he can't. He quite literally cannot help himself. And where Clinton was much more of like, I think a little bit more high-minded, and she'd hit back on the facts. She got pulled into it, right? That sort of Gish Galoop type of thing. She got pulled into that, trying to like respond to everything. Fuck all that. Let that guy say his shit, and then hit him once, and then move on to your points. Like that. That's all.
This is why it's helpful for her, even though she's been in the Senate since 2016. The fact that she's been vice president for the last 4 years. The fact that she doesn't have like a national record to run on is very helpful in this case, because Clinton did this and Biden also did this, is they feel the need to defend themselves and like defend their record and defend things they've done. And she doesn't need to do that. Like she can talk about like, hey, we're here to talk about the future, baby. Like we're not worried about the past. Like we're talking about tomorrow.
Yeah. The old man's still in the office. You call him up, but she's going to have to defend a little bit, right? Like, look, let's get real. Trump is going to go after the border because it's the only fucking thing he knows, right? He's
and it's a real easy pivot. It's a real fucking easy pivoter because he could say, "Oh, you did this,
up.
that, and the other thing," and it's like, okay, cool. Here's the thing: we worked with Republicans in Congress to get a bill that they agreed on, and you killed it. So why do you not want to help? Why do you not want to see things held at the border?
And by the way, here's an easy thing that I see people say all the time, and it's a super easy thing to knock down. Trump and Republicans always say, well, if she wants to do all these things, why hasn't she done it in the last 4 years? And to that, I'd be like, you're talking about things that you said you were going to do when you were president for 4 years. So what the fuck are we talking about? Like, bitch, I'm the vice president. You were the president and you didn't do these things. Why should anybody trust that you could do them now? What happened to 4 years ago? You didn't do shit. So, yeah, I'm not. I think she's gonna embarrass him a couple of times. But what I'm looking for is a couple of like fucking good jabs. Doesn't need to be a like a no holds barred bullshit. Let him get in the mud on that shit and just stand above it. That is the goal. Stand above him, look presidential as fuck, make him look small because he is small.
Well, and the thing is, like, apparently they've said that there's going to be some moments where they leave the mics open, like if they're cross talking each other. She's going to hit him with a like, hey, like I'm talking now, like kind of thing, and that's going to fucking piss him off. Like, so like that's what I'm kind of waiting for as one of those.
And look, you know him. He's gonna say some shit like, I don't care if you're talking or whatever. Oh, that'll go over well with women. Like, dude, please, by all means. And by the way, another thing she can hit him on real quick, because we have like zero time. Another thing she can hit him on is this like last couple of days shit where he's just like, we should be legal and women should be able to have all the abortions and we're going to pay for IVF. It's like, you're just saying shit now because you're scared. You're scared you're going to lose. So like, look, hit him with the all-time great. You're a flip-flopper because you said this last time and now you're saying it's something different this time. Which one is it? Were you lying then or are you lying now? Right? Yeah. Look, sometimes the oldies work, man. You hit someone with they're a flip-flopper or are you lying then or are you lying now? It's one that the media goes, oh, ambrosia. I love it. Like that was remember when Reagan said that one time, right? Yeah. You're weird and a flip-flopper. Like, yeah. Like just get Tim Walz to come out and be like, weird. And then he just like the Whoopsie in Mortal Kombat. And he just like walks up stage. So, all right, we are going to now, looks like, I guess things are kind of getting ready. Oh, they're saying the debate starts in 5 minutes. Okay. So we got a little bit more time. My question, it's a weird one. What does Trump have to do to win the debate?
I mean, he has to put her on the defensive. And he has to get her in a position where she's having to defend the record of the administration, having to defend, some unpopular stuff. Like the biggest things to hit her on that could make her look particularly poor. You could try to attack her record when she was the AG. You could obviously try to attack her at the border. You could try to attack the Afghanistan withdrawal. But again, like both of those last two potentially lead him into waters because there's rebuttals for each of those that can reflect poorly on him. Again, his administration is the one who created that timeline for the withdrawal in the first place, that the Biden administration adhered to. And again, like if you make her have to explain her plans in a very complicated fashion, that would be problematic. And also, like you have to kind of know what you're talking about if you're Donald Trump, or at least sound like you do.
Yeah.
If he tries to do the weave, like the weave where you take 9 different topics and you weave them all together, and some English professors I know said it was the most brilliant thing they've ever seen. And
like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, no one said that to you ever. Wow, that was certainly something. Okay, so just let's wrap up here. I think we can both soundly say that this was a terrible debate for Trump. The last part is really shocking to me. It's shocking.
Is it actually though? Yeah. I mean, this is the fucking guy who in his inaugural address talked about American carnage and like here's all this, like he's getting ready to be the fucking president and he's like, listen to all this terrible shit that's happening right now. He's never, ever had a vision for the future.
No.
I mean, it's literally his slogan. His slogan is all about going back to the past.
Yeah.
He's never been that guy.
Yeah, it's really something to watch a guy completely devoid of a plan. Excuse me. What was it? He
has concepts though. He has concepts of a plan, but no actual plan. And here's something else too. And this is something that I don't think that we appreciated enough, and a lot of other people appreciated enough when Joe Biden was still in the race. Joe Biden cannot make this argument of moving the country forward because he's Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's too old.
Who's been around for 50 fucking years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it is literally impossible for Joe Biden to credibly get up in front of an audience and say, I have a new vision for America. Like, and that's
a vision for America.
Yeah. Like, and I think that was an under talked about aspect of Joe Biden.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Look, I've long said when she started running that this is going to be a generational difference, and you saw it. Right, she even mentioned it tonight. Right?
Yeah,
she did not take the bait on the race thing.
Why would she?
No, but that is a very easy thing as a Democrat to have taken the bait on that and been like, you know what, fucking, I can't believe you said that.
Not only did she not take the bait, she pivoted it into, hey, this guy's always been a fucking racist. Let me show you all
without saying it. Right? Just example after example after example. And you can go back and look up those things if you're not aware of them and go, ooh, he did do those things, right? So, because a lot of questions online is, why do you think Trump's a racist? Bitch, he just gave you a fucking list. Now, you can choose to believe whether those actions are racist. That's up to you. But normal thinking people go, oh, this guy refuses to rent to black people? Yeah, feels a bit racist to me, right? Yeah. So this is a generational pivot or generational difference between the two of them that is significant. And he doesn't know what to do with her. He tried.
But it didn't work. I am so fucking curious to look at reaction polling from this when that shit fucking comes out. It's like I don't understand how anyone who's not already made up their mind could watch that debate and be like, well, I'm still on the fence, or I'm leaning towards Trump. Like there's literally no credible person who could have watched what happened tonight. And again, it makes Bill Clinton look like a fucking prophet, man. All Donald Trump talked about is himself. I'm trying to think of a single plan.
I agree with you, Sherry. I don't think there are.
Yeah, and Sherry is correct. There is no such thing as an undecided voter. Did he advance any, much, and I think we talked about this in the last debate, did he bring forward, any
new
fraction of a policy or something he wants to accomplish or anything like that all?
He brought up the concept of a plan.
He said he has the concept of a plan. He didn't actually mention anything that was
he brought up no policies. None. I'm going to remove 11 million people out of the country. The question was how?
Didn't answer that question.
I mean, the moderator said, are you going to have law enforcement door to door? And he was like, yeah. And then he just pivoted to something else.
Right.
He doesn't have any answers to anything because he doesn't give a shit about policy. He gives a shit about rhetoric. Rhetoric is what got him to the dance in 2016. And he's assuming that rhetoric is going to get him to the dance in this election. But that does not appear to be correct. Because one, you're saying wild shit. Dude, you really went with the dog eating story? That's crazy. I would have never mentioned it. I would have hoped that Harris wouldn't have mentioned it, and then maybe I could have skirted past it because it seems insane. But when you're all id, you can't help yourself. And he was like, I'm gonna fucking nail her on this refugee shit. And it was like, bro, that makes me sound insane.
I think the other thing that she did that was really smart, and we didn't talk about it during either of the breaks. Basically, the first thing she said straight out of the gate was, he's going to lie a whole bunch tonight. Just be ready for that shit. Now just Set that expectation right
Yo,
up front.
she said that shit in articles like 2 days ago. They had already been seeding the ground on that. Like,
Yeah.
this is coming. And then so you're right. She teed that shit up and then she fucking hit it a couple of times throughout the debate. Like, what I fucking tell you? What basically, I'm about to tell you a truth and watch me back it up throughout the debate. Right? Like
Right.
it's almost she made him.
It's a prosecutorial technique. I'm going to lay out my case.
And watch
here's my opening statement. I'm going to give you the how this case is going to go, and then just like I said earlier,
yeah.
Rod posted in the thing a tweet that said Harris right now killing a baby in his 78th year.
Yes.
That's very good.
Yeah, no, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
As I told a friend of mine, I wanted this to end up being like elder abuse, as also somebody that High said tonight. Yeah, it was. It was. This guy is ill-equipped to take her on. He was ill-equipped. I'm very interested to see, I know you're not going to get like the Democrats, freaking out about Joe Biden needs to drop out type of response. I know that because they're a cult on the other side.
Oh no, they're gonna be fucking chuffed to bits.
But I'm interested, like after the moderators are evil, all that shit dies down after a day or two. I want to see what the articles are of like his internal people going, yeah, that was a terrible.
You're gonna there's gonna be so much shit on background or an unnamed Republican or like this, that, or the other thing in the next couple of weeks. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's all it's going to fucking be.
And by the way,
it's all it's going to fucking be.
They ain't having no more debates. All right. That's it. They're
no.
Hell no, dude.
I don't think Donald Trump, I don't think his people would want him.
They're like, no, I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it, Donald. Like, we don't need to do it. Let's send JD out there. Yeah, I think you get this one and that VP debate, and that's it. You ain't getting no more debates.
Speaking of Vance, by the way, the only fucking mention that JD Vance got from him tonight is, I don't talk to JD about this stuff.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Like, I just talked to him about it. Motherfucker's lying on me. Yeah, it was not good. There was no policies from him. She met the moment. She needed to come in and look clear-eyed and push a plan of what in the future, or like paint a picture of what the future would look like under a Harris administration. And she did that, especially in that final statement. And what he did was, look at what this bitch is saying. Like that's all he did. He didn't come back with some, no, this is my vision for America. And that should be telling to voters. He doesn't actually have a vision at all.
By the way, he did worse than that, because he mentioned during the abortion talk, I think it was during the abortion talk, he mentioned a line about how, why are we even talking about this? Because they're not going to have the votes to be able to do anything in Congress anyway.
Right.
So we don't even need to talk about this, because of course he can't talk about abortion because it's devastating to his case, Your Honor. But Democrats will refer back to that. They're going to be like, you know what he said, he's right. You can't. It's not just us you got to vote for. You got to get us the Senate, and you got to get us the House so that we can actually do something about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
that's a campaign ad. That feels like a campaign ad. Yeah, I agree, Jared. The way he talked down to her, saying that he was speaking, remember those words. Yeah, look, a guy
that was a plan. That was a planned moment by him, by the way. Like, obviously, 100%. That was something that seen, because they wanted to. They wanted to make sure she didn't do it to him, yes. And B, like, I guess they wanted to. I don't know why.
Well, no, you want to throw that back in her face. I get that, right?
Yeah, but at that moment, she wasn't trying to interrupt him. Like, she was she made a facial expression.
No,
but she wasn't like trying to talk.
No, she did.
She?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
But to me, and this is double standards exist. It doesn't look the same when you do it to her.
Oh no,
it doesn't come off the same, right? Her saying "I'm speaking" is because men often interrupt women, right? You doing that to her, even though she's technically interrupting
It makes
you,
you look like an
it
asshole.
just makes you look like a dick. Like it just does. So it didn't work. Like, bro, you both are not the same gender. Like it doesn't just go back and forth either way. So I think that's just going to come off as dickish to a lot of women. I think the idea of like him just being really dismissive of her and not looking her in the eye a lot of times. I don't think he looked at her, if at all. I think that's also going to come off as
He may have a couple of times, but yeah, the fact that he would not. I don't remember. Did he do that to Clinton too?
No, he
I
definitely
don't
looked at
remember
Clinton.
if he did or not.
No,
Okay.
he definitely looked at Clinton. But I think she irritates the shit out of him because one, she's another woman. She's also black. And because she's coming into the race at this time. I think it really, and Biden not being there throws him off his game. So I think he's triply mad.
We know. I think the chat was keeping account of how many times he took a dig at Biden, and then she had to consistently remind him like, "Hey, I'm not Joe Biden, and you're running against me, so you might want to direct some of your statements to me."
Yeah. Look, all of the hey, what the fuck are you talking about with the dog shit and like all that, like her saying like this is extreme and everything else. It was brilliant. It was brilliant because it does paint him as like, look, you may not love every policy I have, but I'm a normal person. Look at this fucking psycho that's sitting across from me, right? Like sometimes that's all you need where people go, well, I don't want to vote for the psycho. Like, look, I can agree with 70% of what she's saying, but I know at the end of the day, she's at least a normie. And that's what people want. They just want a person who they can trust is not going to be a fucking problem in that position. And he comes off as like erratic, especially now. So,
and I think that a lot of the stuff I think he was hoping or assumed that what would happen is the same thing that happened in the debate against Biden, where every time they moved on to a new question, and both of them did this, every time they would move on to a new question, but before they can move on to the new question, they'd be like, well, I have to answer back about the last question because you didn't give me a chance to respond. And she didn't buy into that shit. Like, for the most part, except for one or two times, she fucking just trucked on, onward and just basically let his insanity speak for itself. Like, she responded with her fantastic facial expressions during and that's also helpful, is that unfortunately Biden's facial expressions right now look like he doesn't know where he is when he's responding in that way, whereas she is saying a lot with her face without actually speaking. So
look, I'm maybe this isn't fair or whatever, but it's like she's got a particular style as a black woman that she can pull that shit, and she's really good at it. And Trump, meanwhile, is just like his eyes are darting around. He just looks crazy. And she's like, look, take a look at this motherfucker. Like, yeah, it works. She's got that style. It works. So, I mean, she did that basically with Pence too, where she was just like, can you believe this bullshit that this guy is saying? And Pence is like, it's like somebody holding the head of a little kid and he's just like fucking swinging. And he couldn't get it. He couldn't get a hit on her. It's kind of the same thing. Now she's just like, look at this little kid ranting and raving. He looks like a buffoon. And that's exactly how he came off. So, this is a big fat L for Don. It'll be interesting to see like what the take is from the pundit class and stuff like that. But never underestimate their desire to keep this a fucking tight horse race. Things, of course. Like, look at the polling, because the polling is telling a different story, and that things are shifting in a way that is moving really fast, actually. So again, Texas and Florida are in toss-up territory. And by the way, just so you know, Trump has gotten less and less or smaller and smaller wins in Texas every single time he's run. They are,
and also fighting. I am also deathly curious to see what, if any, impact this performance also has on down ballot races. Because I'd have to imagine that in areas and states where the margins are tight, it's going to be entertaining to see it as the campaign goes on. You might find that that Trump is actually like kryptonite to a lot of those senators, and they're not going to want to be seen with him at all. Like don't sleep on how many swing state, like especially Senate races and districts and stuff like that. Like they're gonna be like, you know what? Actually, maybe don't
We're good.
come and stump for me out here if you don't mind.
Yeah. By the way, this will be my last point on this. This was a brilliant move. I invite you to go to watch one of his rallies. Yeah. That was fucking genius. Like, look, I'm so confident that this is dog shit. You go. I'm not even going to stop.
And she's right. She's right, because if you watch him and you're not immersed in that world, like that fucking news ecosphere that right wingers live in, the stuff that he goes on about just sounds like the most insane things you've ever heard of in your entire life. So yeah, I would say, like, if you are an undecided voter and you're like, let's see what all this fuss is about. Yeah, watch him talk for 90 minutes and ramble on, and then walk away from that and be like, yo, this guy's not all there. Like this guy's obviously got a couple screws missing here.
Like, this ain't 2016. And I didn't think he was very good in 2016, but he's a completely different animal 8 years later. Like, he really is. He's all over the place. He's legitimately all over the place.
And again, like Brian just put in there again. I have concepts of a plan is going to be my prediction is that is going to be a phrase that lives in political infamy, much like "please clap."
You know what it is? Concepts of a plan. That's the new binders of women, right? Like, you're like, bro, what are you talking about? Concepts of a plan. Yeah. So, no, this wasn't even close. This isn't some 50-50. Oh, she did well and he did well. No, he did terrible, as he often does. But he looked far, far worse in this debate than any others. So if they decide, if this dum-dum decides that he wants to do another debate, hey, you're gonna get the floor fucking mopped up with you, dude. Like, this ain't for you anymore, Pat. You gotta go sit down. So, oh my goodness. Yeah. Any other final words here before we get out of here?
No, I will let listeners know. We won't have a show next week. I'm out of town, so we will be off next week. We probably could all use it after watching that fucking ass whipping that we just all witnessed to, tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I feel not that I was down. I mean, again, you and I were a bit more even keel after the Biden debate debacle. Like, we both acknowledged he didn't look good, but but we thought Trump came off as insane, and then we woke up and the house was on fire the next day. Yes. I don't think we're going to see that tomorrow. I think it'll be quite the opposite reaction, where it's like, holy shit, what is going on in the GOP?
Yeah,
right now.
I think you're going to see a lot. Wow, they literally have a trash can on fire debating Kamala Harris. For a Lincoln Project tweet. That's perfect.
And look out for his truths tonight and into the morning.
Oh, dude, he's coming
off the chain.
Oh, dude, all capital letters, going crazy.
Pay attention to see what happens to DJT on the exchange tomorrow. I think that'll also be another interesting sign of a reaction of how things went last night.
Dude, that fucking thing is gonna open and go kablooey. Like, it's gonna.
He's lost $4 billion of his what his original cap was.
Yeah, I do know that. Look, if it's what you say it is, I love it. No, I check. I check it every couple of days. I'm like, how bad I'm such a piece of shit. I'm like, how bad is Trump doing financially? Oh, let me count the ways. Great. So yeah, no. Let me see. Where's DJT right now? My guess is not doing well.
Well, remember, it's not the market's not open now.
So no, I know. I know that. No, I'm just. I want to see where it lives right now. My guess is it's not doing great.
I think it's at like 10 something right now.
It can't be a 10. Is that true? Sure. No, it's a 17.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, it's a 17. Oh, maybe I saw 19. Yeah.
If it goes below 12, oh no, buddy. No, this is traded overnight as well. It's already dropped.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, overnight it's already lost a $1.24. So
Wow.
yeah, shit ain't going well. But my guess is when it opens tomorrow, you're going to see that drop significantly. If it goes below 12, by the way, he can no longer. I think by the September 20th is when he can start selling off stock. If it's below 12 by then, going into the 20th, he's not allowed to sell. Like it extends the time. There's some sort of hold on it. But even if he starts selling it off, right? Like every time you start selling, if the principal owner starts selling it, the price is going to fucking run to zero before he can sell all his shit. So like
that is correct.
So I think at this point, as it stands right now, or like when it was at $20 the other day, he would stand to make like $2 billion. But if he starts selling any of it, it's gonna, dude. He's not gonna make. He'll make like maybe a couple $100 million. Like that's it before it's like completely run to zero.
Well, at least he'll be able to pay for his E.G. and Carroll fees. So
yeah. I think maybe he gets that New York City trial paid off, and like that's it, like big fat zero, and then he'll blame Devin Nunes or something.
Of course,
but good. I hope it goes to dog shit tomorrow. I cannot wait. Actually, what time's the market open? 9. So
9 a.m.
Yeah, perfect. So there you go. All right, that is it for us. Ladies and or gentlemen, thank you for joining us in the live. I'm glad we were able to get all the audio working before things started. That was great.
Write it down. Write down the procedure.
I am gonna. The second we get done with this, I'm gonna write it fucking down. I'm so annoyed by that. All right, so we are off next week, but we will be back the following week. And then it's like a hard fucking sprint. It's like 40 days,
6 weeks. Yeah, about.
I think we have 56 days as of today. So we got like a real hard sprint to the end.
7 weeks sprint. No, 6 weeks. I was right the first time. It's 6 weeks.
So it's a hard sprint to the end. Please make sure that you are registered to vote in your state. Make sure you're like, check your status, right? It's not enough for you to make sure that you're like, oh, I'm always registered to vote. Yeah, but go online and check your status. You can check your status. Make sure whether you're supposed to get an absentee ballot, if that's been soon to be mailed out or what have you, in the state of Maryland, where Brad is living and where I vote from. You can I get mine via the internet, and then I have to print it out and mail it back. So make sure that you do all of that. Please make sure your family and everybody is registered to vote. They know where the polling places are and all that other shit.
And you remind 2 friends and make sure they remind 2 friends and so on and so on.
There you go. Yes, John says checkvote.org. That's one of many places you can do it. You can also normally your state has a website as well. Yes, the international community wants you to do the right thing. Yes, I am the
Holy shit. Gerard, is that true? Did Taylor Swift actually come out tonight?
Oh, no. Not the Swifties.
Oh, man.
Is that fucking true?
Holy shit.
Uh-oh, check the news.
The cherry on top of the shit sundae for Trump tonight. Holy hell.
Dude, that would not be good for him.
No. I mean, well, actually, ironically, it might cover up some of the stink because a lot of people are going to be talking about that. So, all right. Well, thanks all.
Oh, wait, hold on. What's this? 6 minutes ago. There you go. Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris for president on deadline.
Fantastic.
Damn, she wrote a fucking big ass Instagram post about it. Best of luck, motherfuckers. That shit ain't AI. You're done. You got the Bay Hive and the Swifties. Disaster. For you. All right, there you go. That is perfect breaking news right at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, Brittany Mahomes must be sick. I know she's a fucking big Trump fan. So, anyway, so there you go. We will see you guys next time.
All right, see ya.
Okay, that's the end of the free portion for this week's episode of Look Forward. Make sure you go to lookforwardshow.com/premium. Sign up for premium content. It's only $5 a month or $50 for the full year.